Transparency International Malaysia says Malaysia is going through an integrity crisis. The country saw a lower score of 47 in its 2017 Corruption Perception Index, slipping 7 places to number 62 out of 180 countries. This is Malaysia's worst score in 5 years and the lowest ranking since the index was introduced in 1994. Back in 2016, Malaysia stood at number 55 with a score of 49. Transparency International Malaysia President Akbar Sata says issues surrounding 1MDB, SRC International, as well as the FGV scandal and the conviction of Rafizi Ramli for whistleblowing contributed to Malaysia's slip in ranking. He adds that in order to convince the rakyat, the government has to show their integrity, confess to weaknesses, rectify problems, and don't lie with these statistics. And that the government must make sure they are clean and want to be clean.
Introduction. Integrity can be defined as aligning of action with what they believe to be good. A person with integrity will demonstrate a principled commitment to their values and beliefs. However, there are a bunch of impact that will occur if the civil servants are not performing their duty ethically, morally, and with integrity. Thus, the government needs to find the initiative or solution in order to overcome this integrity problem by studying and analyzing what are the factors that contribute to the civil servant, as well as facing all obstacles and challenging in overcome this integrity.
The article from Al Jazeera reported that Malaysian court has begun hearing a bid by former Prime Minister Najib Razak to overturn his conviction on corruption charges in a case linked to the looting of the 1MDB State Investment Fund. Based on the news reported, the integrity issue that occurs is corruption among public servants. Corruption is the misuse of delegated authority for personal gain, or in other words, is abuse of power for personal purpose. There are 3 possible reasons for corruption to happen in Malaysia's public sector. The first reason is monopoly power. Monopoly dominance arises as a result of a lack of competition in the delivery of government services. The following cause of corruption is a lack of proper transparency. If a government department financials are not audited on a constant schedule, government officials will appear to be unethical. Finally, the sources of corruption in public service are behavioral in nature. We know that certain very high-ranking officials in the government are paid well, but they are even corrupted. The explanation for this is due to their culture or deeds.
The issue here is investigate blatant mismanagement in public funds. This issue was proposed by Tan Sri Dr. Raymond, which is a President Transparency International Malaysia (TIM) and as Auditor General of this report, where he asked the TIM to urge the government to investigate thoroughly about the blatant mismanagement in public funds. The media started to focus on this Auditor General report case by various ministers in the country because it is commendable that the Auditor General preserved transparency by disclosing these errors. According to the report, the Youth and Sport Ministry paid exorbitant amounts for the basic and widely accessible communities. The government paid 8.39 million more than the market price at the time for the 13 products listed in the country. Expected price tag of 399.67 million for the equipments for the ITBN projects, which eventually inflated to 767.98 million. The report indicated that the Ministry's Secretary General had issued 11 contracts, which costing between 7.99 million and 74.2 million on behalf of the government, which was purportedly in breach of signature power.
Next, we will continue with the possible related issue, which is mismanagement funds. Integrity is the practice of being truthful and adhering to strong moral and ethical. This integrity in an organization can lead to lack of efficiency and also effectiveness. Other than that, it also will lead to distrust. According to the Star News stated that Malaysia has been going through an integrity crisis. Malaysia ranked low in the overall global because there is a financial and corruption scandals that are still in investigations in 2018. In an organization, they must not have the mispresentation or keeping the true information from people because it is one of the disintegrity behavior. Hence, disintegrity can tarnish the reputation in the organization. Disintegrity leads to dishonest and it can be related with the main issue, which is the mismanagement funds. That is why to have integrity in an organization is really important because it leads to the long-term success and for the personal life.
I will explain about expected implication from the incident. The first implication is loss of public trust. We can see a lot of news that involve corruptions in public servants. Their action have made public lost their trust. Second implication is economic loss and inefficiency. The lack of integrity might influence our economic performance. For example, our investment, taxation, and loss of investor. The third implication is tarnished reputation. When corruption happens in government organization, especially like involve MACC officer, their reputation will be tarnished because this agency roles is perform their duties ethically and follow the law.
Conclusion. In a nutshell, there is no denying that it is very difficult to overcome the issue of integrity, although Malaysia has introduced the National Integrity Plan, which aims to enhance, establish as well as to sustain the civil servants' credibility in the Malaysian government. Civil servants must be free from the integrity issues such as power abuse, corruption, and others. Civil servants also should be more sensitive to the issue that related to integrity so that the duty or work that performed by them will be more effective and efficient. Thus, the issue that related to the integrity must be encountered efficiently and effectively through the resolution or initiatives that are taken by the government, Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC), as well as the integrity-based institution to ensure that this serious issue, which is disintegrity issue, should be avoided among Malaysian, especially civil servants.